Today's knife is probably one of the largest folding knives I have ever reviewed on this channel, and it has so many things going for it, but it also has one huge drawback, and I'm going to show it to you right now. Hey, I'm Jay, and if you're looking to buy a knife and you need to see what it's like first before you drop your hard-earned money on it, here's what you got to do. Click on subscribe so I can help you, and remember to click that bell notification so you don't miss a thing. So you should be looking at the specs right now. So for those of you interested, good place to pause and read. So this is the Artisan Cutlery Tradition, and as usual, we're going to first talk about what I like about this knife, then we'll get into some of the potential deal breakers that I see. Before we do that, I just want to go ahead and do the size comparison so you guys can see exactly what we're working with here today. And since the Tradition is, yeah, well, it's a large knife, I'm going to start with the Cold Steel Ultimate Hunter, and on top, another larger knife, the Spyderco Endura 4, and everybody's buddy, might have heard of this one, it's Paramilitary 2, and one more. And now this next knife, this is the knife that I believe is the closest in my collection to the size of the Tradition, and that being the Cold Steel Recon 1, of course. And now I have previously already completed videos on all of the knives that I've just shown you. So at the end of this video, if you click up there in the corner, you can watch the reviews on all of the comparison knives that you just saw. We're going to start with the first thing that actually attracted me to the Tradition, and that's going to be the shape of this blade. Check that out. Just a gorgeous looking classic drop point, and it is flat ground, and yes, it does have a stone washed finish. The steel, great stuff. D2, it will hold an edge for a very long time. Check out that blade stock thickness, 3.7 millimeters. Awesome. I love a thick, capable blade. The detent on this is unbelievably good. I cannot shake this open, and I have tried, believe me, and this is a 4-inch blade. 4 inches long, 3.7 millimeters thick, and the detent still holds it in place. Now that, my friends, is impressive. The action is really, really good. And again, that's going to be, well, because of that strong detent, and this blade is riding on a ball bearing pivot. Did you notice there are only 2 body screws on this giant knife? I mean, I have seen knives half the size with double the amount of body screws. So again, impressive. Only 2 on this very large handle. And speaking of that large handle, it has to be one of the most ergonomic, comfortable handles I have ever experienced. No crap here, guys. This thing feels like it was made for my hand. I mean, look at that. And I wear a medium-sized glove. Absolutely no hot spots anywhere. Just ridiculously comfortable. And I gotta tell you, I was not expecting that. The G-10 scales here are very, very grippy. I mean, listen to that. Not too grippy where it's going to chew up your pocket. At least it hasn't done it to mine. But just the right amount of traction. And now check this out. Again, I was also very impressed here. The design of this handle, it factors in, it makes room for that flipper tab when it's in your pocket. So if you see the pocket clip right there, okay, so then you'll slide this into your pocket, just like so. And then look at that. Look at the angle on the scale. So that just reduces the chances of the flipper tab just pecking on stuff in your pocket. So just very, very well thought out design. And as long as we are talking about that clip, yes, it does come with the deep carry pocket clip, and it is going to be tip up only, but that's for righties. Bam! Look at that. Lefty love. Hallelujah. Yep, for lefties too. So we can rejoice. And the last like on my list is going to be the price, which it seems like I don't get to say very often. But 60 bucks. 60 bucks. You can pick up your very own Artisan Cutlery Tradition. Now, before we get into the possible deal breakers, I just want to quickly remind you guys to click on that subscribe button if you're looking for knife reviews that get right to the point. Now, the first potential deal breaker that we're going to talk about, it's a big one. So guys, strap yourselves in, okay? Now, you know me, normally I could care less about the packaging, which, yeah, great, you know, I still don't here, but I have a point. You do get a bag for your marbles. That's what it looks like. No, it looks like, you know, from those of you that drink, what's that booze? Crown Royal, with that velvety feeling kind of sack over it. That's what this is like. So yeah, you get a little marble bag, and you get this. Yep, this is not for a locker at the airport. This is for the proprietary pivot, right? I don't get it. Things were going so well. I mean, the body screws are Torx. It's kind of like, oh gosh, I don't know. Do you remember, like, let's say you're out on that perfect date. You guys, you go to dinner, you click. You go to see a movie that you both loved, and then the evening is just going perfectly. That's when she tells you she has 12 kids. That's kind of how I felt here, because things were going so damn well with this knife, and then I saw that, and that's exactly how I felt. I mean, I get it. You know, Artisan Cutlery, they're trying to make a name for themselves. They're trying to stand out with a proprietary pivot and a marble bag. I get that. And yes, they do at least give you the tool. Yes, that's great. Thank you. But you know what? You know, try and get noticed for your designs. Try and get noticed for the how your knives function. Okay, so now I feel better now that we got that atom bomb out of the way. Deal breaker number 2, the choil. This choil kind of drives me nuts because it's too small. It's too small for a human finger. And it's a gigantic sharpening choil. I mean, all we just needed was just the slightest bit of material removed from the blade, and this would be the best forward choil. Yeah, that just drives me absolutely nuts. I gotta grab the scale for the next point I'm about to make. So before I go ahead and hoist this up on the scale, I just want to try and show you guys, see if you can see that, yeah, they definitely missed an opportunity here. Absolutely no skeletonization whatsoever. And let's see how that affects the weight. Okay, 6.2 ounces, which is going to be roughly the equivalent of, let's get rid of one of those. Okay, roughly the equivalent of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 AA batteries. Now, I am very curious to see the Recon 1, which is almost exactly the same size. Are you serious? Look at that. 5.1 ounces. Now, this raises another question. Let's look at a short, heavy knife, the ZT-0456. The exact same weight. Deal breaker number 4, the liner lock. It is very, very difficult to operate. I mean, I really have to jam my thumb in there to get it to move. So part of that is because, well, it's just not raised up high enough. And I wonder if maybe like a little relief cut on the inside, kind of like that you see on, like on frame locks here. Maybe if they would have done a little bit of a relief cut on the inside of that liner, that might have helped that issue. But as it stands, yeah, it's kind of difficult to operate that liner lock. And now before we get into the recommendation, I just want to ask you guys a question. And what I'd like to know is, in the comment section, if you could let me know down below, what is your favorite, absolute favorite large folder? And when I say large folder, I'm talking about a blade of 3.75 inches and up. All you got to do is list your favorite one. I mean, it is a great choice for someone with large hands. It really is. The function is fantastic. I mean, the materials are good. I like this knife enough that I genuinely want and plan on checking out the 3-inch version. And please, please do me a favor. If this video provided at all any insight to you, please would you go ahead and just leave me a thumbs up. Thank you very much. And if you are not a subscriber, please consider doing so, clicking on that subscribe